Non-Profit Report is going live in 3, 2, 1. Good morning and welcome to a new the Non-Profit Report, episode number 9. My name is Jorge Villalobos, your host for today. I'm the owner of the Best Restoration and Gainesville Turnover Specialist. And we have in the back, in the production, Elio La Fiesta Piedra. I want to say thanks initially to everybody who came the last Wednesday to celebrate with us the opening of the Fiesta Media. Was very, very nice to see a lot of our friends, especially a big message for our friends of the Chamber of Commerce. They came and they did a really nice presentations. I'm pretty sure that Elio didn't sleep until really late this day for all the good energy, that all the good words and kind words of everybody everybody brought here. Today we have a special episode, number 9, and we have a really good friend, John Barley from Catholic Charities. John, good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning, Jorge. Thank you for having me.
I'm so happy that you didn't bring the green shirt. I think Freddie Webby gave him the good advice. Please don't go with green. You're going to be in trouble.
I'm becoming an expert at podcasts, so I know what to wear.
Wow, that's good. Welcome. John is with Catholic Charities for years, and if somebody can talk about what is to do nice events and to try to mitigate a lot of the problems that happen with a lot of people in this town, is John Barley. John, tell us about yourself first.
About me?
Yes.
Well, Jorge, as you know, I used to be in the restaurant business for years and years. And after 36 years in the restaurant business, I decided it was time for a change. I had been working with Catholic Charities, catering their event, actually before, when I was in the restaurant business, and they had put me on the board. And so when I stopped working at the restaurant, I was volunteering there. And next thing you know, they needed a director, and I was there, and somebody had a plan. So from the restaurant business to running a nonprofit, and I've been there going on 9 years now.
Incredible.
Yeah.
We can talk about the restaurant. Tell us about who were you representing at this time.
Well, I was with, my last restaurant was with Carrabba's. I had opened the Carrabba's on 34th Street right up the road here in 2001. I had been in Gainesville in the restaurant business for years before that with the Brown Derby. And I actually started working there when I was in school at the University of Florida. And so the restaurant business became my career. And I was a part owner of Carrabba's. And when it was time to try something else, I said goodbye to the restaurant business and now nonprofits. And now it seems like I found another home.
I still remember to see you running around the whole restaurant trying to help people and to be sure that everybody was happy with the service and with the food and with the attention. I'm going to say that you were doing an extremely good job. And
thank you. I appreciate it. You know, it's attention to detail, and you know that from your business. It's in the restaurant business or in the restoration business, whatever you're doing. If you're going to be successful, you have to pay attention to details, and you have to pick up the pennies and watch every dollar. And it's no different in the nonprofit business. As a matter of fact, more so, making sure that what you're doing is the right thing with every dollar that you've got. So details and being detail oriented, I think, has what's made me successful, has made you successful in your business. And I think now that's carried over to Catholic Charities as well.
Tell us about how was this transition. You came from the private sector and you one day are sitting in front of a desk and you don't sell nothing.
Well, that was the hardest part, was the sitting in front of the desk, because I had never had a desk job before. I had never had my own desk, because in the restaurant you've got people coming in, people coming out. You're working with the chef and everybody else at a desk. So I had never had my own desk in my own office. So that was the hardest part to get used to. But yes, now you're not selling a product. Instead, you're selling yourself and you're selling the agency, because as you know, from your past experience, but just with doing this podcast, there are so many nonprofits out there in Gainesville. And although we have a very generous community, we're all looking for the same dollar when it comes to donations. So in a certain way, you are selling yourself because you've got to be a good steward of the money that you're taking in, and you've got to have a good reputation in the community, and you've got to be doing the right work in order for people to support you in the way that we need to be supported to help those in need in our community.
And tell us about the Catholic Charities, exactly what they do, what they represent, and what is the impact that they have in our community.
Well, first thing I always like to tell people, our name is Catholic Charities. That's not what we do, okay? Because well over 90% of our clients are non-Catholic. People always ask me that, do you need to be Catholic? No, we don't just serve Catholics. And our support is not just from Catholics. You know, we were talking with Elio earlier. It's not just the Catholic churches in town, but it's the other churches in town, Trinity Methodist and Holy Trinity Episcopal, and support from so many different denominations and different schools, and the public sector as well. With United Way and with Alachua County, we get support from a number of different places.
Tell us about some of your bigger sponsors, because you have a lot of people that you can, think about. They are over the limit, like your friends from the car dealer. How they come here to help? Because I know that obviously they are really involved with you, but how in the business sector can get connected with you in the way that you can have this relationship with them?
You're talking about the Cousins family from Southeast Cars.
Yes.
Well, we have some supporters, and Southeast has always been a big supporter to us, and John and Judy Cousins and their family have been big supporters, as have you, and as well. People like to be involved in an organization that they can be proud of, that does good work. And when you give money, your company gives money, you've got a number of different places where it can go. You work very hard for your money, so when you give it away, you want to make sure that it's going to the right place and that the people that you're donating to are doing the right thing. So that's how we make those relationships. And the key to it, and going back to the restaurant business, you don't want to bring somebody in once. You want to bring somebody in who's going to continue to come back. So you want to make sure that those relationships continue, and that you continue to nurture them, and people continue to be proud of what they're doing and supporting your organization.
And how your organization is helping right now, Gainesville? I know that you have different phases, but tell us what is the main thing that you are doing.
Well, right now, I mean, COVID has changed everything in the last year. And we keep saying the last year because last week was kind of the anniversary of when everything kind of stopped and hit. We've always taken care of people. We've always had a food pantry, an emergency food pantry that took care of people when they needed food. We've got the Weekend Hunger Backpack Program that sends food home to hungry kids on the weekends. Last year, we ended the year with 21 schools and over 800 kids that we were sending food to every week. We've got programs for people with HIV and AIDS. We've got adoptions and pregnancy counseling programs. And we've got adult financial literacy classes as well. And last year, 2 years ago, we started our English as a Second Language program because we knew that there were so many people in the community that had a rudimentary knowledge of English but needed to be able to speak English better to get themselves ahead. And then last year came COVID, and the need became helping people with rent, helping people with utility payments. We hear a lot about the government stimulus plans that get passed, the CARES Acts. Once they get passed in Washington, it takes months and months and months for that money to get down into the local communities, into Alachua County and the city of Gainesville. The stimulus checks go out very quickly, but the help with rent and utilities takes months to happen. In the meantime, people are facing evictions, they're facing having their utilities turned off. So Catholic Charities has been there to be able to help them. We had a number of fundraisers last year after we had to cancel our Spirit of Charity Gala. TV20 came through and they had a virtual fundraiser for us that raised well over $200,000 in privately raised funds. We had a Christmas in July last year that raised a lot of money. And last year we gave out over $600,000 in privately raised funds for people in rent and utilities so that they could keep a roof over their head and they could have their power on while they were waiting for the government stimulus to come through. So everything has been COVID focused at this point. We've had to change everything. Our classes, our financial classes, our English as a second language classes have all gone virtual. We're now doing them on Zoom instead of in a classroom. But to answer the original question, that's been the biggest focus, is helping people keep a roof over their head and and their utilities on.
What is your expectations that what's gonna happen in the next 6 months of a year? I know that it's gonna take some time until this money is shared in a different hands, but what is your expectations?
Well, the economy is coming back, which of course is the wonderful thing. I mean, we've got to get people back into jobs, and we've got to get people back into making the kind of money they need. The only problem is when they're in a hole, the opportunity to dig out of that hole is difficult. And we've got families right now that we're dealing with that are 6 and 7 months behind in rent. Now with utilities, they've got to find a way to keep those utilities going because the utility companies will cut off their power. We've had a number of families last week that we helped that had their power cut off for a week or 10 days already before they got into us for an appointment. Going forward, I see the economy picking up and I see more people going back to work, but it's going to take people a while to dig themselves out of the hole that they've got themselves into. A lot of Gainesville's jobs are service sector jobs. They're not the highest paying jobs in the world. So you've got people who are struggling to make ends meet to begin with, which are the people that Catholic Charities helped out before. Now on top of it, they're behind X number of months in rent. Their ability to dig out of that is going to be very difficult. Alachua County has a program that started last week, which is funded by the CARES Act that was passed in December, where folks can go online and get utility and rental assistance. It's a fantastic program. We've been a part of setting up the system because the county reached out to several nonprofits to get because they knew this is what we did. And so they reached out to several nonprofits to get their opinion on how things could be done. So we've helped with that. But once again, this is an online application. A lot of our folks don't have computers. They may have a smartphone, but trying to fill out a computer application on a smartphone is not always the easiest thing to do. So we're going to help people with navigating those applications. Getting them appointments at the library so that they can get on a computer if they don't have their own, and help them with that. So what's going to happen in the next few months? It's uncertain. What I know is that we're going to be there to do our part to be able to help in any way we can. And this private-public partnership that we've developed with Alachua County has been a huge part of that. And the important part is that we make sure that people stay in housing and we don't increase the homeless population that we already have in this community.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about housing and how this is going to be fixed. I'm going to talk about something that possibly is a big problem too, that is the backpack programs. Because now you have a lot of the kids that they are in their houses. Then how you reach these kids? Because it was easier when they were in the school.
Oh, it was much easier. It's been very difficult. Last year when the schools closed down in March and all the kids went home, we partnered with Alachua County Schools and with the volunteers from Alachua County Schools to get the food to the kids. The county was actually putting the bags of food onto the buses and taking the food to the bus stops where the kids would normally pick up their bus to come to school, along with they were taking out homework and other things like that. This year has been a challenge because some of the kids are going to virtual school. Some of the kids are actually going to the brick and mortar school, and other kids are doing the hybrid, where sometimes they're in school and sometimes they're not. Mm-hmm. So we don't always know if the kids are going to be there. Not all the parents have cars to be able to drive to the school to pick up the food. So it's been a huge challenge to get those bags of food home to the kids so that they've got them for the weekend. We got a call from one of our schools last week and said, the kids haven't been coming to school and they haven't come to pick up the food, so we don't need the food this week because we've got a backlog of it. Yeah. And that's what really hurts, is that that those kids are at home and that they need the food, but we haven't been able to get the food to them. So it's been a challenge. Some of the schools have volunteers in their PTA who have actually been taking the bags to the schools. So that's helped. It is a big challenge, it's a huge challenge. It's a huge challenge. COVID has affected, everything.
I tell you, because before everything started to be a problem, I remember that I contact Buchholz directly, and I tell them, I can offer you a satellite office or a satellite distribution center in my company, because we are located around a lot of people that they need the backpacks and they need food. The funny thing is that even I start to pick up food in the school and bring it to our office, and I went to every single apartment complex around us, every single small. We put signs, food is here. Hey, if your kids need food, we have lunch and we have dinner, everything. We didn't get a really good response. I think also is that the community need to put their part too. I don't know how is the commitment 100%, but sometimes you feel like everybody has to move. Not only that they have to wait until the government, nonprofit, the schools, they do for them, but everybody has to react. What do you think about this?
Well, unfortunately, and we heard other stories similar to what, and I remember when you were reaching out to help Buchholz in that area with getting the food out, because last spring and into the summer, really, there were a lot of people partnering with the food programs. As time went on, and I call it COVID fatigue, people got to the point where, it didn't seem like such an emergency. It didn't seem like, food was no longer the big thing that it was before. And I see that right now. People are kind of losing focus of the food. But yes, it's got to be a partnership. And I think Alachua County, I think the school board has done a great job with their volunteers. But I think the focus has shifted because of the fact that they're so concerned about the education and how that's falling apart this year, that the food has almost taken a back seat. We've got I don't even know how many kids, and I heard the figures the other day because I was on a meeting with Howard Bishop Middle School, and I heard the numbers of kids who aren't logging in for classes, kids who are in the 8th grade that are not going to be promoted to high school, kids who were actually A and B students who suddenly are D's and F's and are so over online school that they're not even logging on. So the priority has shifted from feeding them to making sure that they're getting the education that they need.
Can you go a little bit deeper for the people who are not familiar with the backpack programs? Because I think it's one of the more incredible things that you have.
Well, the backpack program itself was started by United Way. I think we're going on 11 years with that program, and United Way was started the program with Terwilliger Elementary School, which is right around the corner from United Way. And it was parents who, PTA volunteers, who knew that there were kids coming to school on Monday mornings who were very hungry. They were the first kids off the bus to get in the line for the free breakfast on Monday morning. They were the kids who were hoarding food during the course of the week. On Friday, when it was time, to go home for the weekend, they would stuff things in their backpack, extra fruit or whatever they could get out of the cafeteria line. So it became very obvious that these kids were not eating on the weekends. 1 in 4 children in Alachua County are, go hungry at some point during the course of the week. 25% is a ridiculous number in a county that has the resources that we do, but it's a fact. So United Way started this program. They built it up to 3 schools and about 150 kids, and then realized that United Way is not actually a service provider. And they asked Catholic Charities to adopt the program, which we did. And we're going on about 9 years now that we've been doing it.
Can you tell me some numbers right now? How many people you
Right now we are dealing with 17 schools. Last year we ended with 21. 4 of our charter schools that we had did not actually go back to brick and mortar classrooms, so they didn't have the ability to get the kids signed up. So we ended last year with 21 schools and over 800 students that we were sending food home to every weekend. And realize the fact that, Jorge, if you're the student in the school, but you've got 3 younger siblings at home, we're sending you food home for 4, okay? Not just for you, but for your siblings that you've got at home as well. Which makes the program expensive, obviously, to run and to manage, but so worthwhile, because the thought of children going hungry, I mean, I've never had a lot of money, but I've never gone without food, and I don't even understand what hunger is about. So it's something that is very close to our hearts, and we continue to look at expanding that program. The interesting thing is that we don't actually sign the kids up at Catholic Charities. They are referred to us by the schools, by the counselors, by the teachers, and believe it or not, by the cafeteria workers, because the cafeteria workers are the ones who see them on Monday morning, being the first ones in line. So we get the referrals from the schools. The program has nothing to do with income or anything like that. We don't know the financials of the parents. We know the needs of the child. They get referred from the school, and we put them right into the program. So the only need is that you're hungry.
How the people, normal people, that they are in their houses right now hearing us, how they can help you to fill it up all these backpacks?
Well, there's a number of ways. We've got all kinds of groups who do from offices and schools and churches. They do food drives for us. Kid-friendly food is what we try to call it. Your Vienna sausages and your juice boxes and macaroni and cheese and canned raviolis, things like that. So you can do something at your office, and a lot of people do it to coincide with some kind of either celebration or some kind of prize that's happening at the office. But we get a lot of food drives. You can go to CatholicCharities.org, which is our website, and you can donate right online. And the thing is, if you want to donate specifically to the backpack program, because that's where your heart lies, you can actually note on the memo that it's for the backpack program, and that money will go right to the backpack program. One of the things we haven't talked about and that I'm so proud of is that, every dollar that is donated to Catholic Charities here in Gainesville stays in our local community. The money does not go out to, some umbrella organization or some other office. It stays right here in the 5 counties in North Central Florida that we serve.
That is great. Tell us about something that is especially is, what is the other way that people can help you? Because that donation for the backpack is really good. You didn't have the chance to do your big event the last year, won't have the chance to do it this year. What other things the community can do to help you?
Well, we call it time, talent, and treasure. And depending on what you've got of each, volunteers are always important. You know, one of the things that happened last year, once again with COVID, is we lost a lot of our volunteers. A lot of our volunteers were seniors, and they didn't feel comfortable, you know, with being in the office and having clients come in. So we needed a lot of extra volunteers. We've got some of them coming back now that the shots are actually going into the arms. We've got some of them going back, but volunteering. And once again, you can go to CatholicCharitiesGainesville.org, and there's volunteer information there as well. If you can't do a food drive, you can definitely send a check, or you know, you can donate online with a credit card. So that's an opportunity as well. And you know, some of the really important things is the sustainability part. You were talking about business partners before, Southeast Cars and Best Restorations and other businesses like that. When people do a monthly donation and it's a sustaining monthly donation that we can count on it in our budget, that makes a huge deal, because
you can plan.
it's a plan, because we're always looking to do something more and something better. So if something comes along, like our English as a Second Language program, my ability to say, yes, we can do that because we've got the funds to do it, and I know that we're going to have the funds going forward to do it, that's how we can better serve the community. So those donations, especially those sustained donations, monthly donations, are huge. They give us the comfort level we need to be able to run the organization the way we do.
Well, another program that they have also is the Christmas. They pick up presents for a lot of kids. I remember to bring a truck full of presents a couple years ago, and just the feeling to be part of this. John, thank you for being here. We really appreciate your time. Can you close for us, telling to the community what exactly you need from them?
Once again, thank you, Jorge and Elio, for having me today. Just having the ability to come out and talk about what we do and how we do it is so important, because you don't have an advertising budget in the nonprofit world, so you can't buy TV space and all those things that some other businesses can do. Just go to CatholicCharitiesGainesville.org. We've got a lot of information on the website. You can like us on our Facebook page. As well, which we keep up on a daily basis to tell people what it is we're doing and how we're doing it. And if you've got any questions, just get in touch with us. We'll be more than happy to let you know how you can help. Just continue to give. Gainesville is a very generous community, and please keep it up.
John, thank you.
Jorge, thank you so much.
I really appreciate your time.
Really appreciate all you've done, and thanks for having us.
Thank you, John. You know, this is somebody that I just dreamed since the first episode to have him here with us, because I know all the information that he can provide us. We're gonna be in a really short break, and we come back in a few minutes. Elio, everything under your control.
Hello everybody, this is Elio Piera here to tell you that we are in the age of the 3 C's. Yes. In case you haven't noticed it, the 3 C's: accelerated change, overwhelming complexity, and tremendous competition. So what are you doing to stand out, to make a difference within your industry, within your market, to become an influencer, a voice, a powerhouse within your market? Well, let me tell you, we are what you're looking for. We have what you're looking for, what you need. I'm telling you, you need your own custom podcast to start reaching the numbers, to drop everyone's attention out there and to make a difference. Because let me tell you, if you don't jump in the train today, you're gonna see the train leaving from far behind. And let me tell you something else. This is the age of the 3 C's: overwhelming complexity, tremendous competition, and accelerated change. So what are you waiting for?
Spring is here. Call the Best Restoration for all of your cleaning needs for every surface in your home. Get rid of stains and pet odors with state-of-the-art carpet, rug, and upholstery cleaning. Our expert technicians will make your tile and grout look like new. Improve your in-home air quality by removing pollen and pet hair with our nationally certified air duct cleaning. Call the Best Restoration, masters of disasters, today.
We don't call it restoration, we call call it Restoration, the best restoration, masters of disasters.
Spring is here. Call the best restoration for all of your cleaning needs for every surface in your home. Get rid of stains and pet odors with state-of-the-art carpet, rug, and upholstery cleaning. Our expert technicians will make your tile and grout look like new. Improve your in-home air quality by removing pollen and pet hair with our nationally certified air duct cleaning. Call the best restoration, masters of disasters today.
We don't call it restoration, we call it restoration, the best restoration, masters of disasters.
Spring is here. Call the best restoration for all of your cleaning needs for every surface in your home. Get rid of stains and pet odors with state-of-the-art carpet, rug, and upholstery cleaning. Our expert technicians will make your tile and grout look like new. Improve your in-home air quality by removing pollen and pet hair with our nationally certified air duct cleaning. Call the best restoration, masters of disasters today.
We don't call it restoration, we call it restoration, the best restoration, masters of disasters.
Hello everybody, this is Elio Piera here to tell you that we are in the age of the 3 C's. Yes, in case you haven't noticed it, the 3 C's. Accelerated change, overwhelming complexity, and tremendous competition. So what are you doing to stand out, to make a difference within your industry, within your market, to become an influencer, a voice, a powerhouse within your market? Well, let me tell you, we are what you're looking for. We have what you're looking for, what you need. I'm telling you, you need your own custom podcast to start reaching the numbers, to drop everyone's attention out there and to make a difference. Because let me tell you, if you don't jump in the train today, you're gonna see the train leaving from far behind. And let me tell you something else. This is the age of the 3 C's. Overwhelming complexity, tremendous competition, and accelerated change. So what are you waiting for?
Thank you everybody who is watching the program today, and thank you for coming to the second part of the number 9 episode of the Nonprofit Report. We had a tremendous conversation with John Barley. We are really close to Catholic Charities. Please, if the people that were there hearing this program, don't forget that these people, they are in a special need right now for everything that happened with COVID, and they need absolutely all the help that they can. But we have a new visitor, Shireen Baptiste. How you doing? Thank you for coming from Dream on Purpose. By the way, I'm gonna say to the people who is coming in the next episode, look what she gave me a present, and I don't know how she knew, but I'm an Excel guy. Then I'm so excited. I have my own shirt and my mask. Then I'm expecting really good things from the future people here. Shireen, thank you for coming. Tell us about Shireen. Tell us about you. How you. First, why you are in Gainesville and how you came to be in front of this organization. Tell us about you.
So first and foremost, I would like to take this opportunity to say thank you so much for having me and, specifically Dream on Purpose on the show, Jorge, as well as Elio. We definitely appreciate the opportunity. So as you mentioned, my name is Shireen Baptiste. I'm president and co-founder of Dream on Purpose, which is an empowerment organization for girls between the ages of 11 and 18. Okay. I've lived in Gainesville, Florida for about 15 years. Mm-hmm. I came to Gainesville for school, and as most people would, believe, most students believe, they come to Gainesville, they're going to go to school, and they're going to go to another city. But I've been here for 15 years, and although this is where I've resided and called home for the last 15 years, I was actually born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. So I knew from the very beginning that my purpose on earth was to help, the next person, was to make a difference in people's lives and to help bring a smile on people's faces whenever I could. So even when I lived in New York, as an elementary school student, I started a student-led nonprofit organization called Helpers Helping Others. So I always knew that my purpose in life was to help lead a nonprofit organization. And I ended up moving to Orlando, Florida in the 8th grade, and I brought the organization with me. Now, when it came time to go to the University of Florida, go Gators, I decided to take a break from the nonprofit, and I said what I was going to do is invest in myself, get the education that I need in order to be in a better position to lead a nonprofit once I'm done. So I went to the University of Florida. I got my bachelor's degree in public relations. I got 3 minors, one in organizational leadership for nonprofit, another one in leadership, and another one in family, youth, and community sciences. And then I went back to school and I got my master's in entrepreneurship.
Wow.
So somewhere in the process.
We need some applauses, Elio, please. Thank you. This is so cool. Congratulations.
Thank you. So somewhere in the midst of it all, after I actually graduated, getting my master's degree, I was on the phone with a, former mentor of mine, and he was telling me how he feels like the, youth in his neighborhood have stopped dreaming. And I was like, okay, well, I've always been solution oriented. So I was like, we can't just accept that. We have to do something about it. So then, I rallied up a couple of women that were in my life and in my circle. And I was like, hey, there's an opportunity that we have to make a difference in the lives of youth, specifically girls. We're all women. We all know how it is to, go through trials and tribulations at a young age and not have like the proper resources in place. And so I was like, are you ready and can join me in this journey to improving the lives of young girls? And all of the people, like all of the women I reached out to, they all said yes. And they've accompanied me on this journey. And I'm happy to say that we developed Dream on Purpose. And this year in May, we will turn 6 years old.
6 years already.
Yes.
And tell me what happened since you start with this dream, because by the way, it's the dream of a lot of girls now, but what's your initial dream? What happened since the day that you start until today? What is the evolution of the whole process?
So I have to admit, when I, called on these women to come join me on this journey, I did not know at that time that we would be starting an entire nonprofit. Mm-hmm. I think that if I was told that this is what we were going to accomplish, I might have ran away from the dream. It might have been scary. So when we got together, the initial vision was for us to do a conference once a year. Mm-hmm. But as we continued to plan for this conference, we were like, we need to make sure that the work that we're doing, can bring about a sustainable impact to these young ladies. So once a year is not going to cut it. So we were like, okay, well, we need to do something quarterly at minimum. So since then, we went ahead, we founded the organization, we made it official, made Dream on Purpose official on paper, we incorporated it, so forth and thus. And then we started hosting our signature event, which is called Cupcakes and Conversations. Mm-hmm. We host that once a quarter. Essentially, it is a forum in which we bring young girls together so that way they can talk about various issues that they're going through. And one of the reasons why we created that for them is because we know that they go through things, right? And oftentimes when they're going through tribulations and trials, they turn to their friends. They don't really go to their parents or go to an adult or a counselor. They turn to their friends and ask for, suggestions and advice. And as we know, many times, it's often the blind leading the blind because they're in the same boat. So we were like, okay, well, we need to have a space where these young ladies can come. They can talk about what they're going through. We can connect them with local resources, tell them what's going on and available in the community with them, and also make sure that they're hearing from subject matter experts. Mm-hmm. We also made sure that we connected them with various, women who are doing well in the community, who are role models, to kind of serve as a mentor throughout the event. So we've been happy to do that. Since the beginning of Dream on Purpose, we have grown, not just in the amount of young ladies that we are serving, but we have grown in terms of our team. We were originally a board of 3, and now we have a board of 9.
Oh, that's really
yes.
cool.
And then the same board of 3 was also the same individuals who were working to put on the program. And now we have a team of 7 individuals who are helping us out. Dream on Purpose This is a completely volunteer-led organization, which means that all of us still have a day job.
Yes.
But we do this work because we're passionate about it and we care about the youth in our community. So in addition to that, we have also grown in terms of the number of partnerships that we have. So oftentimes you'll see that we're working with the Greater Gainesville Chamber, for instance, with College Discoveries. We also are a partner with their Career Discoveries. You'll also see that we partner a lot with the Education Foundation. For instance, with their Wellness Series program.
A big hug to our friend David Roundtree, that at the end, he was the one who connected during this weekend. I really appreciate it, David.
Yes, and that's a perfect segue because the Community Foundation of North Central Florida has been amazing resource for us. Honestly and truly, they've connected us to various organizations in the community that might have funding opportunities available. They've connected us to you,
yes.
You know what I'm saying? So they're just really wonderful, and David has been a true valuable resource to the organization. So I am forever thankful to the Community Foundation of North Central Florida as well as David, which brings me up to my next point, which is we have the amazing gift coming up on April 22nd.
But first, before we talk about it, tell us about what exactly the organization does.
Yes, so we work to empower, young ladies. And of course, we don't discriminate against our boys. If you are interested in our programs, you can definitely participate. So we just make sure that we put on programs that will help aspire our young ladies to dream and also connect them.
Ages, yes?
Yes, 11 to 18.
18. Okay, just for the people to be sure that it's a segment there.
So the reason why we chose those ages is because, in middle school, although they're young, they're still exposed to a lot of life situations, and we want to make sure that they're getting the assistance that they need. And then we didn't want to go any younger than that because we want to make sure that, they are in a mindset where they can process the information that we have to give them and are able to connect to the resources. And then we go as up to 18, so that way we can make sure that we're following them from middle school through high school.
Okay. Okay. No problem at all. Everyone on this program is doing great work, and we are happy to help. Oh, look, see the guy with the shirt. David, I have a shirt too. Then you don't have to try to make me feel bad right now. A big hug to our friend David. And then what is if I'm a 15 years old lady and I say that I have part of your program, what they gonna describe? What their experience? What they are looking for? Tell me about it.
So if I was a 15 years old young lady and I attended one of our programs, I would say that it gave me an opportunity to have a voice and to know that my voice was listened to. It gave me an opportunity to ask questions where I usually am not sure who I can turn to for the answers. It gives me an opportunity to connect with peers my own age, especially in the time of COVID right now. Like, that's an important element that many of our students have lost, is that connection to one another. So if I was a 15-year-old young lady, those would be my takeaway from an event. In addition, I would probably say I had so much fun just learning about that topic, and I really enjoyed my gift that I received through the mail. So before COVID, every time we had attendees come to our events, we would make sure that they always left with a gift in hand. The reason why we do this is because we want them to know that the resources that they have are not just intangibles like, oh, connect with this organization or that organization. We want them to leave the event with something tangible in their hands to know that, okay, you can also use the following items that we've given you as gifts to help you along your journey. And so when COVID first hit, we were like, oh my goodness, we're going to lose so much elements about our program that made it so special for these girls. How are we going to get them their gifts? How are we going to get them their cupcakes? And so that's when the Community Foundation of North Central Florida, they really stepped up to help the nonprofits in need during COVID. And they were able to pair us with various corporate organizations that, were looking to fund a cause. And so we were able to receive
some of them if you wanted.
Okay, great. Yeah. Absolutely. So one of them was the Women's Giving Circle. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have had funding to continue with our cupcakes and conversations Conversations last year.
Okay,
So,
a big hug for the ladies.
yes. So because of them, we've been able to keep our program going, and now we mail the girls their kits, so that way they don't feel like they've lost anything because of COVID.
Yes.
So we're definitely in the hunt for getting funding resources again this year, and so definitely be on the lookout for those opportunities for our community to step up and support us again.
Tell us about the cupcakes events that you do, and tell us about the giving days. Then you can start to promote these two things.
Oh, yes, of course. So with Cupcakes and Conversations, we literally just had one on Saturday. It was dedicated to economic empowerment edition. So we called it Cupcakes and Conversations E3. We spoke to the girls about money, how to invest money, how to grow and save your money, how to develop a mindset for growth. We all know it starts with the mind first, right? Before you can actually actualize anything. So we presented them with speakers. So a couple of our speakers, for instance, was Sophie Lancaster, Sheena Lewis, as well as Kiara Hall. They're all entrepreneurs. So they were able to speak to the young ladies about entrepreneurship, about budgeting, and about mindset. We presented them with videos and interactive discussions. And also we're going to send them an email with various resources that they can continue to look forward to, and they should be receiving their gifts in the mail. Some examples of previous topics that we've addressed is dating. We've talked to the girls about that. We've called it Netflix and chill. We've talked to the young ladies about time management. We've talked to them about college discoveries, how to prepare yourself for success when you get to college, how to make sure you're staying on track. What are the resources that are out there for you? We've talked to them about stress management and how to, conduct yourself, and anger management. The array of topics it's really a plethora of topics that we've addressed with them. So I'm happy to say, in addition to Cupcakes and Conversations, we do have other programs that we offer to them as well. So if anyone is interested in learning more about that, they can visit our website, which is dreamonpurpose.org. That is DREAMONPURPOSE.org. And Elio already lined it up on the screen.
Yes. That's great. What is the bigger barriers that you find to help these ladies? The resources, the way that you try to put them together? What is the bigger issues that you have?
So some of the issues that we face as a small nonprofit in specifically the Gainesville community that is overwhelmed with various nonprofits, all with equally great causes, is we're all fighting for the same dollars, right? We're all fighting to get access to that money, and being a smaller organization in which, we're 5 years old, right? Five and a half at this point. So the brand recognition is not as great as some of the other organizations here in town.
I want to stop you there. This is the reason, and I'm sorry for interrupting you in this way, but this is the reason that we have this program. If you don't have the chance to be here and talk in front of this community, then who's going to know about what you do?
Exactly.
That's the reason that, for the people who is in the other side of this program, and also the ones that they are coming in the future, they think about what is our real purpose, is that they have the chance to spread the message and bring awareness to the people that I never hear about, that your organization exists, and I'm really involved with nonprofits. Then I'm so excited that you can just tell we are fixing a problem, and you are here to try to figure it out the best way to do it.
Yes.
Tell us about the when is the next event for the cakes, for the cupcakes, and how often you do it and where you're doing, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of the people who is hearing, they say, I want to be happy if I can send my daughter, or I have my grandniece, or whatever. Tell us about it.
So our very next Cupcakes and Conversations will take place on May 22nd. So you heard it here first, May 22nd. And the topic is dedicated to grief and stress management. And I think after a year like COVID, we have a lot to talk about and a lot to address concerning grief and stress management. So if anybody is interested in staying up to date with the events that we host, they can visit our website. As mentioned before, they can find us on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So you can find us there. And then they can also join our newsletter, which we send out once a month. And so if you visit our website, there is a pop-up window that will come up and you just fill it out and you'll automatically get added to our listserv. Yes.
Where do you do these events?
So right now, all of our events are hosted virtually because of COVID.
Okay. Prior
to COVID, we were hosting them at various locations throughout Gainesville. One of the reasons why we did that is because we don't have a brick and mortar. And the second reason why we do that is we wanted to make sure we were reaching different members of the community depending on where they live, right? We didn't want to just continuously held events in one location and there's a segment of the population that can't make it there. So prior to COVID, it was at various locations, but because of COVID, all of our events are virtual. We're hosting them on Zoom. So that means that anyone can join our Cupcakes and Conversations. Just the one on Saturday, we reached the Ohio community. So we had like students, joining us in all the way from Ohio. We've had students join us from like South Florida. So we're definitely expanding our reach virtually. I think earlier you asked me how often do we do Cupcakes and Conversations. We do it once a quarter.
Okay.
But there are other programs that we try to do in between that. So if you're interested in learning more about those programs, definitely follow us on social media.
Tell us about what happened April the 22nd.
April the 22nd. Oh, The Amazing Give. So The Amazing Give is taking place between the hours of 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. The Amazing Give is hosted by the Community Foundation of North Central Florida, and it's essentially a 24-hour, in this case it's 12 hours, but it's an opportunity for the entire community to rally up and support the entire nonprofit community. So we'll have various nonprofits who sign up to be on The Amazing Give. Dream on Purpose is one of them, so you can definitely seek us out so you can help raise the funds that we are growing that day. The purpose of us doing The Amazing Give this year will be to help fund our programs moving forward. So anytime we get money that comes in, as I said before, we're volunteer-led, so it doesn't come into our pockets. We make sure that the money goes back into programs for our youth. So check us out on The Amazing Give on April 22nd from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And you can actually start to donate before that. If anyone is ever interested in donating outside of April 22nd, you can definitely visit our website. There is an opportunity to donate there.
Don't forget, we're going to be working with Elio. We're going to do some live events these days. Then we're going to be going around some of these nonprofit organizations. Then we're going to try to tell the world that definitely is a special day. A lot of them, they contact us already, and they are expecting a really, really good turnout. Then it's possible a great opportunity for everybody. Send a message, Shireen, for the rest of the kids that they are there and the moms, telling what is important that they come to you.
So a message that we want to send to parents and to children is we want you to know that your dream is important. We want you to know that regardless of what you go through in life, regardless of the trials and the tribulations that you face, regardless of the obstacles that come your way, your dream is important. You matter, right? And there is purpose in your existence. There is purpose in your dream. And we want you to fight for that dream like you've never fought before, and know that there are local resources to help you actualize those dreams. And so if this is anything that you need assistance with, please know that there are several resources out there for you, but Dream on Purpose is most definitely one of them.
Wow. This is so wonderful. I'm going to tell you a secret before I close this program, because tomorrow, I was 12 years old when I have my big dream. I have the privilege to come here to Disney World. And I was with my parents, and I couldn't believe that something like this, like the United States exists. I never think about it. I never left my country before then. But tomorrow we're gonna celebrate 22 years to be in the States. That means that finally we got a dream, and we're gonna invite all these kids that sometimes they don't have good mentors, they don't have good friends, they don't have good environment. It's an option. It's an option for every single one who wanna believe. Then everybody is engineered for success. This is what Mr. Zig Ziglar used to say it all the time. Shereen, thank you for being here with us. Thank you for our presence. I'm sorry, it's an Excel shirt that obviously Elio is too short. He cannot use it. Then I'm gonna have the privilege. I'm gonna give you the mask, Elio. Thank you again. I'll see you next week. We're gonna have a really big surprise on Monday. Then you have to be ready. Number 9 episode of the Nonprofit Report. This was Jorge Villalobos, your host from The Best Restoration and Gainesville Turnover Specialist, and Elio La Fiesta Piedra in the production. I hope you enjoyed today. Don't forget, these people are here because they are in need. They need our help. They need our support. Come back. Remember to be sure that put it in your calendars, April the 22nd. Be sure that you have some money under your pillow. Or you have to have it somewhere, because this is the day that we have to help our community. I hope you have a nice day. Shereen, thank you again for being here.
Yes.
I wish you good luck, and thank you for my presence. And we'll see you next Monday. And thank you again, everybody, for being here.
The Nonprofit Report is going live in 3, 2, 1.